Hey, Captain Logos here, preacher at large, teaching the word and inspiring 3 minutes at a time. Hey, was reading in Esther. A lot of good stories in Esther, a lot of good information, a lot of those good one-liners. You know, the one that everybody refers to the most is, for such a time as this. You know, Queen Esther came from the Jews, rose to royalty, and then she was in the right place at the right time to save her people from sure destruction, right? But that's not what I want to focus on this morning, right? What I want to focus on this morning is there's a line in chapter 9 that says that after all the bad stuff had happened, you know, Haman had tried to kill all the Jews, sent the edicts out through the king, and then Esther had to fast and pray because she couldn't go to the king just at any time she wanted, and he had to put out the scepter, so she put her life at risk going to the king when she wasn't summoned, right? But then she ends up getting all this stuff that she wanted, right? And basically everything that Haman wanted for the Jews happened to him and his family. He was hanging on the same gallows that he was going to hang Mordecai the Jew on. But here's the point. It says after all that, and then they were going to rise up and kill all the Jews. The letter had already been sent, so the king had to send another letter that say that you can defend yourself, gather together, and people can help you defend yourself, right? And so the Jews ended up killing a bunch of people that day instead of all the Jews being killed, right? And so after all of this, it says that they celebrated that month, the whole month, with feasting and celebration and prayer and thankfulness for what God had done, because he turned sorrow into joy. They were all in mourning because they thought they were going to die. But yet then Esther came to their rescue, right? Things changed. God listened to Esther. The king listened to Esther. And the next thing you know, the Jews are the ones in control. Mordecai is second in command, just below the king, right? Esther is the queen, and life is good for the Jews for once, for a very long time, because this is captivity now. This is several years after the captivity, right? Where they were dragged off and assimilated into Babylonian and Assyrian culture, right? And so here's the point I want to make. If you want to turn your sorrow to joy, you have to completely trust God, right? Sorrow was turned to joy for the Jews in the book of Esther because Esther completely trusted God. She went before the king knowing that she could die. She even said that I will go before the king, and if I die, if I perish, I perish. But how can I sit here in my position and allow my kindred be killed? If you want to turn sorrow into joy, you got to have complete faith in the Lord. Complete faith in God. Don't just do it half-heartedly. Don't just willy-nilly do it. But if you've had a period of sorrow and it's time for joy in your life, you completely rely on God at all cost. And I guarantee you God's word will come true in your life. And your sorrow can turn to joy simply by putting your trust in the Lord. Now, go get your face in the Bible.